Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sister. It's news that's nightly about the Redskins. Welcome to the Redskins Nightly News. I, of course, am your host, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. Let's get to tonight's lead story. So, I told you yesterday that we would hear from Dwayne Haskins for the very first time as a starting quarterback during the course of the week. He was named the starter for the remainder of the season on Monday by interim head coach Bill Callahan, and that this would be the first time he has had a full week's preparation knowing he was going to be the starter. Remember, last week, it was not announced until Thursday that Dwayne Haskins would in fact start on Sunday versus the Buffalo Bills, or 2 weeks ago, rather, before the bye week, that he was going to start versus the Buffalo Bills. So there was no Wednesday post or pre-game or pre-practice presser, try to say that fast 3 times, pre-practice presser by Dwayne Haskins, because he was not entrenched, he was not ingrained, he was not named the starter for Sunday's game of that week versus Buffalo. This time around, he was named the starter early enough, so we did know he was going to be the starter. So he did have media availability on Wednesday and did step to the podium, and he did speak. I want you to hear the entire conversation, the entire press conference from Dwayne Haskins. You can tell he's starting to settle in, number one. Number two, you can tell that he's starting to get acclimated to being in this position. Remember, I talked about how somewhat abrasive he was, how flippant he was, and how he seemed to be disengaged with some of the questions being asked to him. You can tell that there's a different vibe now. He's getting more comfortable. He's getting settled in. I'll give you my full analysis of what was said after you have a chance to listen, but I want you to hear the full 9-minute post or pre-practice presser from Dwayne Haskins before today's practice out at Redskins Park. So take a listen, and afterwards we'll come back. I'll give you my analysis of what he said and how I feel after listening to him talk on Wednesday as we get ready for Dwayne Haskins' first home start on Sunday at FedEx Field versus the New York Jets. Take a listen to his pre-practice presser from this afternoon, Dwayne Haskins with the media.
All right, well, I guess the big thing is your reaction to Coach Callahan and naming you the starter for the rest of the season.
Very excited about Coach Callahan naming me the starter the rest of the season. Worked really hard to get to this point, and even more work has to be done to continue to go forward.
Obviously, you've been working hard the whole time. What does this do for you in terms of being able to just know it's yours and have that security, not be fighting for that week to week?
Definitely, I feel like that can help as far as just the camaraderie with the team and the offense gravitating around me and allow me to lead and trying to get guys to follow me. So I feel like that helped a lot.
What was that discussion like when he told you, and what was his words of wisdom to you?
Yeah, just being a young guy, being a rookie quarterback in the NFL is going to be very challenging. But just to know that he supports me and wants to rally behind me and do everything possible to help me get this team to win some games. So it meant a lot.
This was the bye week, obviously. What did you do this week with the bye week to get ready for this next coming start?
Yeah, we practiced on Wednesday. Got with my high school quarterback coach in the area. We worked out a couple of times and came back in Sunday. Went over some stuff for the practice on Monday, so it's pretty good.
I'm sure with repetition, things start getting a little bit easier. Is there anything, sort of one or two things that kind of stand out to you that now you've gone through this a little bit more, that is coming a little bit easier than it was, right when you got thrown in?
I just feel like the more reps I get, the easier it will be for me to just be able to play naturally, instinctively. And as I play, the more mistakes I'll learn from and the better plays I'll make.
Dwayne, how much more comfortable are you now than you were, say, last month and even when you first got in against the Giants?
A lot more comfortable, a lot more confident, different me back there.
And then with the playbook, do you feel like you're able to go through all of it now? Is it how you want to be, where you're just reacting when you're on the field?
Yeah, I felt comfortable with the playbook before. It's just now seeing the reps for the first time, seeing them live. It's different when you just hear the play and talk about the play and you never really went through the play live before. And now that I'm able to get multiple reps of different stuff and different looks and different things that can happen in the game, it makes the plays a lot easier to go execute.
Dwayne, so far from what you've studied of Greg Williams' defense with the Jets, what have you seen right now that you would say presents a challenge for you all in this game? And what would you say that you see as something that you could find success in?
I definitely think that Jets are a very good defense, they're very active. Adams makes a lot of plays, and they do a really good job disguising coverages, being able to do different things out of different looks and having guys doing different responsibilities. And it's a lot of different things as far as getting to different coverages, but it's just cover 2, cover 3, cover 1 at the end of the day. It's just how you get to it, and that will come with repetition throughout the week. And I feel like once we be able to recognize everything that they do, we'll be able to execute at a high level.
Dwayne, where did you feel most comfortable when you're on the field because of those reps? What were some of the things that were happening because you felt more comfortable?
Say it again.
When you were in the game, you said you felt comfortable because you got the more reps and all that. Where is it specifically that you maybe felt more comfortable? Was there a certain aspect of your game that was you're sharper because of those reps?
I just felt like as the game went on, the more reps that I got, the more rhythm I got with my eyes and my feet, and being able to look guys in the huddle and tell an all-pro Brandon Sheriff what the play is and have some authority behind it meant a lot for me. And the more that I got to able to do that, the more confident I was and being able to motivate the guys that are around me and finding out ways where I can push the ones that are in the huddle with me. And as the more games, more plays that I get, I feel like I can continue to get better at that.
Dwayne, obviously you're continuing to improve, but you're not ultimately where you want to be. How do you balance that patience with the process of growing and knowing you're not where you ultimately want to be?
Yeah, I think just the fear of not reaching the potential that I know that I can, and that's something that motivates me every day in the weight room, in the meetings, on the field, and going into every game I get an opportunity to put my helmet on, and that's just something that I take pride in as far as knowing where I want to be, knowing where I can be, knowing where I'm at right now, and what work needs to be done to get there.
Dwayne, all the action you've seen in the regular season has been on the road. Sunday will be your first home game as a Redskins quarterback. Knowing the progression you want to take and getting this chance to finally show these fans what you can do, how does that make you more excited or more focused to really put on a good performance for these fans who've been clamoring to see you on the field?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Remember in high school, I used to go over to the stadium and watch them play. Oh, now I'm on the team, watch the Redskins play. So, of course, being able to play at home and being from this area means a lot more to me than it would for another guy. So, just being able to play in front of my family, play in front of the fans that have been watching me since I was 15 years old means a lot to me, and I just want to be able to go out there, go one play at a time, and hope it leads to a W.
Dwayne, real quick, to feed off of that, how much family, how many friends do you anticipate having at this game?
I just was on the phone with my mom about tickets, so hopefully not too many. We're still figuring that out.
When it does come to just kind of learning how to be a pro and the prep work that goes into it, how is this different in what you're having to learn, how you're going into the classroom, how you're approaching things compared to what you did at Ohio State?
I wouldn't say it's much different. It's just more intense, laser-focused, knowing that you're a franchise of the Washington Redskins now. Everyone's watching what you're doing, how you handle yourself, how you walk in the building, how you walk into a meeting, and that's all very important for the guys who want you to lead them. So definitely taking pride in that, and being an Ohio State quarterback, playing in that big-time university just prepared me for this, and just trying to build every day and keep getting better.
Dwayne, you've got a young nucleus here with yourself and Geis and McLaurin, some of the young guys on offense. What will these next 7 weeks be for that particular group, yourself included, in terms of showing what you can do on the field? I
just think that if we're on the same page as far as everyone, including the young guys, we can be very effective, very explosive, and can make a lot of plays. So from this point on, it's now us being accountable, leaning on each other, asking for help, and being able to look at the guy to the left or right of you, knowing they're going to do their job at the best that they can, and I'm hoping that it'll lead to a W.
You've been in a leadership position at quarterback for many years, but it was always peer-to-peer until this year. Now you're dealing with guys that are older, that have been in the league a lot longer. Mm-hmm. How do you lead them, and how do you show them that you're worthy of leading them?
I mean, it's a growing process. You can ask Terry. Last year, Terry's a fifth-year senior. When I was in school, I was a redshirt sophomore. So, of course, for me, it was always having to get older guys to respect me and being able to get older guys to know that he's young, but he's still going to lead us. And that's just a process. That's earning trust. That's spending extra time in the film room, spending extra time in the weight room, spending time before practice and after practice so that they can see I'm taking this serious and working on my craft. And that's something that I take very, very much pride in, and I'm hoping that that's translating with the guys in the locker room.
Dwayne, both you and Kevin have talked to us about the meetings you guys have had, those extra time, just trying to find time anytime you can to get together. What have you taken out of those meetings, and what has he meant to you throughout this development? I
just think those meetings are really beneficial as far as being on the same page with Kevin because he calls the plays. So being able to know what he thinks and what he wants out of a play and being on the same page with him makes it easier in a play to know, Kevin talked about this, look for this in this play, and know that we're on the same page so that when he calls a play, he knows that I won't mess it up. So that's the main thing.
And by the same token, Bill talked Monday about a meeting that you guys had after the Vikings game where you came in on a Saturday and sat down and basically said, what can I do to get better? Mm-hmm. What compelled you to do that, and what was that meeting like for you?
Just accountability. After that second loss, I never want to feel that feeling in my stomach again. So I got with Bill, and I told him what I needed to tell him, and he took it, and he gave me everything he can. He gave me all the tools, videos, notes from all the time he spent in the NFL. And he's been really great just trying to help me out.
Darius Geis will be taking the field with you this Sunday, and while he hasn't had a ton of NFL action, what have you seen from him in the past couple weeks of practice, and what can he add to this offense?
Very tough runner. Similar to Adrian, he's hard to bring down with the first tackle. And just him being a young guy with me and being able to relate to him and bringing some energy to our offense and both of us in the backfield together, I feel brings a spark, and I'm excited to play with him.
Just what are you hoping to prove over the next 7 weeks?
I'm not looking to prove anything as far as I'm trying to prove to someone. I just want to prove to myself that I put the work in and be accountable for me and my teammates, and hope that, makes a lot more difference than trying to prove what I can possibly do. I know I can play at a high level, so I just got to go do it.
So after listening to that and kind of internalizing everything that was said, I think the biggest takeaway that I got, and I may be getting a little too deep here, so follow me. I really, really can appreciate now that he had to earn this position and that it wasn't just given to him. I really wanted to make sure that this situation was different. I say I make sure as if I had a hand in it, but I was hoping that this situation was vastly different than the Robert Griffin III situation, and that he wouldn't be put on a pedestal. We got off to a really rough start with this whole situation with him getting the number 7. He should have never been given the opportunity to wear Joe Theismann's number, and he should have had to pick another number. And the Redskins organization, because they're total douchebags, put Joe Theismann in a really tough spot to where they essentially forced him to have to say no, and he wasn't going to do that. He didn't want to look like the bad guy. They should have taken that situation out of his hands and forced Dwayne to wear a different number. And as Joe said, forge your own legacy with your own number. But that's nor here nor there. Bottom line is, I thought that right there was a sense of entitlement, and I thought we were going to get more of the same, where he was just going to be handed the keys. And look, we all advocated for that. We wanted to see this guy. Some of you from day one. I didn't have a problem with him not starting right off the bat. If there was a season to be had, I wanted to have it. And if Case Keenum or Colt McCoy gave you the better option to maybe get off to a better start, remember, we knew the first 5 games were going to be death row, and they were exactly that for this franchise. If they went 0-5 in those first 5 games, then maybe going in a different direction was the right thing to do. But I wanted to see Dwayne very early on in this season, and instead they made him wait. Now, I think they made him wait way too long, and Miami should have been at the latest that he saw the field as a starter for this team, but they decided to wait even longer than that. Bottom line is, I'm glad that he had to earn it, and you can hear him talk about the lessons learned and how at Ohio State, because remember, it was a similar situation for him at Ohio State that it's been for him in Washington, that he had to earn the right to start at Ohio State. Remember, J.T. Barrett was there, and they had other guys, Cardale Jones and all these guys in that revolving door at quarterback, but they never turned the full keys over to Dwayne until his final year there, which was his redshirt sophomore season. He sat for 2 years at Ohio State. He did not play, and he was a bit behind on that depth chart, and he had to earn the right. He had to beat out now LSU quarterback Joe Burrow. He had to win that job. It was not given to him. And so he said he had to earn the respect of some of the older guys in that Ohio State locker room, like fifth-year senior receiver that is currently a Redskin, Terry McLaurin, and guys like that had been on that Ohio State roster that he was going to have to look into their eyes and convince him that he was capable of carrying on tradition and winning ball games and taking them where they ultimately wanted to go. Similar spot here now in Washington, where he has to earn the trust, as he said, of a guy like Brandon Sheriff, looking him in his eyes in the huddle and telling him that this is the play and this is what I need from you and we got to go out and execute. And it's hard to do that as a rookie when you've got guys that are vested veterans in this league that are looking at you like a wet-nosed, silly rookie. And he's got to earn their respect, earn their trust, and show them that he's here not only for this season, but for the long haul, and that he is invested and that he wants to win. And so I'm kind of glad that he had to earn everything that he's gotten to this point. I think it's a sense of humbleness, and it keeps him grounded and it keeps him motivated, because sometimes when guys are just given the keys to the car, they wreck it, as we've seen before with this organization. And it's good. It's very refreshing that he not only had to go take the test at DMV, he not only had to get this lemon first, and he not only had to get a job, work, earn his own money, save it up, and then purchase his own vehicle, but now he has to also pay the car insurance. So he knows the value of everything, every step of the way. And so I'm really excited. And you can hear it in his voice. I'm excited that he had to earn this opportunity and that he's not taking it for granted, because at times, I will admit, early on in the season, it seemed like he was taking all of this for granted. Like, I'm not starting, so I'm not going to really apply myself the way that I maybe should. Or, he wasn't as invested. You can kind of get a sense of that on the sidelines watching. And again, you can never always take what you see on the sidelines and run with it. But and he even said himself in that same press conference that we just heard that I'm a different me. And he's essentially telling you, nope, I wasn't probably doing all the things that I probably should have been doing from day one, but that's all changed now. I understand what is required of me. I see what I need to do in order to give myself and my team the best chance to go out and win and execute on Sundays. And that's me being in the weight room a little bit longer. That's me staying and studying film a little bit longer. Guys seeing me on the practice field working. Guys seeing me after practice working. Guys seeing me before practice working and putting in extra work. And so he's starting to get, and these are all the things that we said we wanted to see from him. And this is why we said it was important for him to start, because he needs to know what it takes to be a starter, the film study that it takes, the preparation that it takes. And we see the maturation, and it's only been a short period of time, which gets me excited. It didn't take 8 starts for him to gain all of this knowledge and to understand all of the things that he needs to do. He's already starting to get that now, and he's only got 1 start under his belt. And you can tell that this is a guy that wants to win, all right? The fact that he came into Callahan's office after the Vikings lost and is like, look, what do I need to do? All right. The fact that he's sitting down with Kevin O'Connell and picking his brain to kind of figure out what he should be looking at when this particular play is called and what I should be looking for against this kind of coverage. And these are all things that the great ones do. And if you want to take that next step, you've got to take the initiative and take some of these steps yourself. All right. Bill Callahan shouldn't be calling him into the office. Kevin O'Connell shouldn't be calling him into the office or begging him to stay late or begging him to come to his office and pick his brain. He should be doing that on his own. And we're seeing that now. And I'm really excited about what I'm hearing from Dwayne Haskins from a maturation standpoint mentally, because we know this game, half of it, if not more so, is mental. All right. We know he's got the physical traits. And he's got more so the physical traits than we thought coming in, because he's lost weight since the combine. He ran a lot faster than we thought he was going to run. So his ability to scramble and extend plays, we've seen him extend some plays in the preseason and even in the regular season. We're like, whoa, how did he escape that? All right. So we know the physical talent is here and he can sling it with the best of them. So it's not a physical thing. It's more of a mental thing. And you're hearing that mental maturation. And I'm really excited. I don't know about you, but I'm getting excited about Dwayne Haskins as the Redskins starting quarterback. And I want to see it now start to play itself out on the field. And I think that's the most important thing, is all of these things that he's saying are nice, but we got to see it start to bleed onto the field. We have to see it transfer over to the field and in his play. But the first step is getting the mental aspect of the game down pat, because if you can't get guys lined up, if you don't know where you're going with the football, if you're not understanding what the defense is trying to do to you, then everything else is moot. It's a moot point. Everything else falls on deaf ears. So he's starting to get the mental aspect down. Now we want to see it transfer onto the field and translate into the Redskins getting into the goddamn end zone. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and transfer this over into in other news.
Well, I guess the big thing is...
So Callahan spoke as well, and he talked, and I told you, generally speaking, we get, 2 or 3 nuggets from his presser, and that's what we got today. And I think the biggest takeaway from his post-practice presser was the fact that we're not getting anybody back from injury, essentially, except for Monte Nicholson. He said Monte is day-to-day. Sounds like Monte may be able to go. They'll continue to evaluate him throughout the week, but if we can get Monte back on the field, that's great. I think they found something in Troy Apke, because he's played well since having to come in for Monte Nicholson. But I'd like to see Monte back on the field. And I thought there was a nice little package we had with 3 safeties on the field with Apke, Monte, and Landon Collins when we did that versus Minnesota on the Thursday night game a few weeks back. So I would like to see that. And Apke got on the field as well in week 6 versus the Miami Dolphins in a 3 safety set. So I'd like to see more of that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing Apke still get opportunities, even if Monte is healthy. But the more the merrier. We could use all the help we can get from healthy bodies coming back. And it sounds like Monte is close to returning to the lineup. But the same cannot be said for Vernon, who still remains in concussion protocol. At this point, I'm thinking, why don't you just put the man on IR and just move on? I don't think he's going to come back. I mean, we're going into week 11 now. There aren't many more weeks left. If he's taking this long to get back from the concussion, just put him on ice and keep it moving. And maybe Vernon Davis has played his last down as a Washington Redskin. I don't know. We'll see. But the Redskins haven't made any moves right now, but he's not out of concussion protocol. It doesn't sound like he's going to make it out of it in time to be on the field in week 11 versus the Jets. And it doesn't sound like Chris Thompson is going to be able to help this team in week 11 either. He's still nursing a myriad of injuries. Doesn't sound like he's going to be back. Was not on the practice field today. And it doesn't sound like he's going to return to the practice field this week in any capacity. And so he's another guy that Callahan talked about as a huge guy in this offense, what he brings to the table in pass protection and what he does for this team, catching the football out of the backfield, and just all of the different dynamics and dimensions he brings to this offense and what they've been missing since he's been out, and how they would love to have him back, but that doesn't sound like it's going to happen this week. He made mention of the fact that Dwayne has taken all of these strides, and they asked him about the red zone offense, which is a big problem for this team because, as you all know, we haven't scored a touchdown in 3.5 games. And a lot of that is because we will move the football down into the red zone and then we will get stymied and have to settle for a field goal. And so they asked him about the self-scout. That's one of his favorite things, self-scouting. And so they asked him about self-scouting and what they did over the bye week in terms of the red zone offense. And he talked about run-pass ratio and, different things that they can, do to switch up tendencies that they may have. He didn't want to get into specifics, as he shouldn't, but at the end of the day, I'm less about talk, more about action. Okay, I'm about that action, boss. So I really don't care about what self-scouting you've done. I just want to see it play out differently on the field. I think it's going to happen with Dwayne, given more opportunities. And he also was asked about Dwayne getting more opportunities to throw the football. And he said, well, it'd be nice if we can convert on third downs. That will give us more opportunities to throw the football. No, actually, if we convert on third downs, it'll give you more opportunities to just run the football. So it is a pertinent question. He tried to dismiss it as if it was as simple as, well, we're not sustaining offense, so we're not getting a chance to throw the football. No, because even when we sustain offense, we're running the football on first down and second down, and then we're trying to throw it and have the quarterback bail us out on third and long. So how about we throw it on first down? How about we throw it on second down in certain instances? It's okay to run it on first down. You get 4 yards. All right, now let's throw it on 2nd and 6. All right, instead of running it again, and now we lose a yard, now it's 3rd and 7. And so I just want to see this offense be a little bit more dynamic. I want to see them open it up a bit. That's what they asked him about in the presser. And he said, yeah, they're going to try to open it up, but they have to convert on third downs, which is true. But also, there's a such thing as throwing it on first down, too. You don't just have to convert on third downs to give you a fresh set of downs so that you can run it on first and second down and just throw it again on third down. You can also throw it on first down. That's allowed. So we'll see what happens. But Callahan was pretty upfront during his presser, and he also made mention of the fact that the Redskins weren't sending any representation to the Colin Kaepernick workout. That was later refuted, and there seems to be some representatives going to the. I don't think there's any chance in hell the Redskins sign him or are even interested. I think they're just sending a representative just for the sake of sending a representative. But that's another discussion for another day, maybe something that I'll tackle on my podcast. But nonetheless, Callahan spoke, and those were really the biggest takeaways from his presser. I think the biggest thing was the fact that we're not getting CT nor VD back from injury, and I was looking forward to possibly getting at least one, if not both of those guys back after the bye week. So that was a little disappointing. But when you look at the Jets game, I want to quickly preview that before we get out of here. Not going to say much. We'll save most of the breakdown of the Jets and what we have to do to try to get a win for tomorrow. But I do want to say this, and I think I said this earlier in the week. If I haven't, I'm going to say it now. If I have, I'm going to reiterate it here again. I'm really excited about this game. This is the first time I've been excited about a Redskins game probably since week 2 versus Dallas. After that loss versus the Cowboys, because I was expecting a win. I don't know about you, but I was expecting a win, especially off of the performance in week 1 versus the Eagles. I felt like we could move the football, score some points, win against the Cowboys. Once we lost that game, I wasn't looking forward to the Bears game on Monday night, and we got throttled in that game. And really, from that point on, there was no excitement for this team because at that point, it was about trying to get Dwayne to start. And it wasn't happening, and this team was going in the wrong direction, and Jay Gruden in that situation was spiraling out of control, and then the Trent situation started to intensify, and it was about everything except football. And for the first time in probably 10 weeks, the Redskins game on Sunday is more about the actual game on the field than anything happening outside of the game. It's not about a coach potentially getting fired after the game. It's not about a player who is or isn't coming and showing up. It's not about Dwayne Haskins finally getting a start, or is he going to get in the game, or what's going to happen. He's starting. We think we can win this game. It's his first home start. You're getting Darius Geis back. You expect Terry McLaurin to start to see an uptick in his production once again. I'm excited about this game. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for Week 11's tilt versus the New York Jets. Look, I know a lot of people around the league could care less about this game and could give two shits about the Jets and Redskins, and I get it. It's a 1-win team versus a 2-win team. All right, not a lot of excitement and build-up for this game. But if you're a Redskins fan, there hasn't been much to cheer about this season. All right, we're 1-8. We stink. But now down the stretch, you've got something to look forward to with number 7 under center, and now you're getting number 29 back at the running back position. And Callahan also talked about his load coming up on Sunday. And they said, look, we really just want to kind of get him back into the swing of things, kind of get him used to contact during these practices. We're not going to overload him. Adrian Peterson's still going to be your lead back. As I told you, I think this is going to be Adrian Peterson still carrying the load with Darius Geis kind of filling in the gaps. And then as we progress and Geis shows the ability to, 1, stay healthy, 2, be productive, and 3, know the offense, you'll start to see him take more of the load away from Adrian Peterson. And I think you'll start to get to a point where it's a 50-50 split. And then I think towards the end of the season, you may even see it be Geis, 60-40 over Peterson, Geis 70-30 over Peterson. But right now, I think it's still going to be 90-10 Peterson over Geis, 80-20, somewhere in that general vicinity. And that's probably the way it should be because Geis hasn't proven that he can handle the load yet. Hell, he hasn't even proven he can stay healthy after 1 game. So we need to see that first before we can start giving him more on his plate. But back to the Jets for a second. I'm really excited about this game, really excited about the young nucleus of Haskins, Geis, and McLaurin. And we want to see those guys start to play well. I want to see this offense start to perform at a higher clip. I want to see us be able to run the football. And I want to see this offense start to take shape. We better score a touchdown this week. Let's just say that and get that out of the way now. If the Giants can score, and I don't want to compare us to the Giants because their offense is a little bit further along than ours, but I don't give a shit. If the Giants can go out and score 27 points, we damn well better be able to go out and score at least a touchdown in this game. I'm looking for more than 1 touchdown, okay? It's ridiculous that we haven't scored a touchdown in over 3.5 quarters. It's ridiculous that we're averaging 6 points per game our last 3 games out. It's ridiculous that this offense can't find a way to put the football in the end zone, but I think it stops on Sunday versus the Jets with Dwayne Haskins getting his first career start at home. I think all of that is put to rest, and I expect the Redskins to have somewhat of a really good offensive output. Will there be mistakes? Probably, but will there be plays made by the Redskins? You damn right there will be, and I'm looking forward to it happening on Sunday. And I can't speak for you, but I am really excited and looking forward to this game on Sunday versus the Jets. The first time in a long time I've been this excited about a Redskins game during the 2019 NFL season. So that's going to do it for me, your man, Louie T, here on the Redskins Nightly News. So what I want you guys to make sure you comment on is, how do you feel about this Jets game? All right, how do you feel going into this game, and how do you feel about Dwayne's presser? What did you gather from that? Do you feel the sense that this guy is gaining confidence, and are you excited that he didn't just get this job and it wasn't just given to him, but he had to earn it? Let me know how you feel in the comment section. I'm anxious to hear how you guys feel about the upcoming game. Maybe you've been excited about all 10 of the Redskins games thus far, or 9 of them thus far. I haven't been. All right, I've only been excited about 2 of them. This is going to be the first time I've been excited in a long time. How do you feel about this upcoming game versus the Jets? Leave it down in the comment section below. All right, remember, we got skin in the game. Why? Because we're Skins fans for life. I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. This has been the Redskins Nightly News. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.
Louie T Network.